In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make sure your emails are going into people's inboxes and not the spam. I'm Jake, the co-founder of On Brand Emails. I've had an email marketing agency for the last 2 years, and we've helped clients all over the world in all industries generate as much revenue as possible from email marketing. So, like I mentioned in this video, I'm going to show you, why your deliverability is so important and how to fix it if it's not in the greatest position that it could be in. So, why it matters more than you think. It's completely useless sending emails if nobody sees them. That should be very, very straightforward. A lot of brand owners focus on my subject lines aren't good enough. What about my copy? What about if I put this button here? And like all of that stuff is pointless if the person doesn't open the email in the first place, right? This should be like priority number one. That's why here, deliverability is the foundation everything else is built on. Without good deliverability, your open rates will be horrible, your revenue will drop, your reputation gets worse over time, and then eventually almost nothing reaches the inbox. So, how to know if your deliverability is broken? Your open rates will usually be the biggest indicator. If you're sending to warm, engaged lists and you're still only getting consistently under 30% open rates, you're definitely in trouble. Some other red flags are a massive sudden drop in engagement, spam complaints, high bounce rates, and obviously people just simply saying, I didn't get your email. Okay, so good deliverability would be between 35% and 50% on average in most of your open rates. I'd probably even maybe go if you're getting like 40% consistently and then some of them get 60, 70, you're in a really good spot. You're getting consistent engagement, low spam complaints, and low bounce rates. So just to give you an example, we actually recently started working with a brand simply because I had signed up to their email marketing list a couple of months prior. And they just came to my mind one day. I think I might have seen them on Instagram. And I was like, I'm going to go check, what I've gotten from them. I always take a look at people's brands. And they weren't there. So I went to my spam folder and there they were. I took a screenshot, sent it to the owner, jumped on a call, explained everything to him. And he was like, okay, that's actually really good. I didn't know that was happening. And you'd be surprised. Like this brand in particular was doing $250K a month, which is a good sized brand. And they had no idea their emails were going to spam. Obviously, we've changed that since and they're doing a lot better, but really important that you make sure of this. Why your deliverability might break in the first place. Okay, you're sending to unengaged people. You're just not sending correctly. You're sending to people constantly who have a track record of not opening your emails. So ultimately, it's going to bring your open rates down. The longer your open rates are down, the more likely you are to get flagged by Google or someone for having a bad sending reputation. You don't warm up your list properly. If you start sending high volume immediately, it looks suspicious. This happens, let's say, for instance, if you have a new domain or you just migrated from another platform, you will have a brand new reputation, but you might send 10,000 emails in one day. You're going to kill your reputation. Now, if you have old unengaged subscribers, buying email lists, or you have invalid email address, that's obviously going to have a massive impact. And if you're sending too many emails too fast, so you're ramping up your volume too quickly, you're sending daily or multiple times a day all the time, you're just over emailing people and they just mark you as spam. They get annoyed, and trust me, people do that. People can be pretty peed off when it comes to that kind of thing. So number 5 is that you would just have spam triggers in your content. So if you have like 50 links or lots of spammy language, this can be another factor. It's not that important. Like I mentioned here, it does matter way less than engagement than the ones above it. Okay, so if you're starting fresh, let's just say, for example, you just have a new domain, you're migrating to Klaviyo from somewhere else, or you haven't sent in a couple of years, which we find as well can be common, or your deliverability has tanked. This is exactly how you're going to fix it. This is the warming process that we would do with any new brand or client that we start working with. So for the first week, you want to send to really small lists, like people who are 7-day engaged. So these are people who've opened an email, clicked an email, and been on your site in the last 7 days. These people are really new, they're really engaged. The likelihood is that they're going to open your email. You want to send it to a small group, 500 to 1,000. Now, this is another key. It has to be plain text. It can't be designed on Figma, it can't have any images. I would also do no links at all for the first week. It's literally just a message. Sometimes what we'll do that's worked really well in the past is we'll actually run a giveaway. We will send a plain text email to a really small group of engaged people. We'll say, hey guys, we're running a giveaway. To enter the giveaway, just reply to this email saying yes or saying entry. This way you're showing Google or whoever it may be, like, okay, this person is sending emails and actually getting replies. Replies are massive for increasing your reputation. And then week 2, you just slowly ramp everything up, guys. It's really straightforward. You want to increase to maybe 14-day engage, a little bit more people. Then you increase on week 3 to a broader group, cast a wider net. Week 4 is the same. You just widen it a little bit further. Maybe it's 60-day engage. You gradually keep increasing. Now, this is like a really slow, safe method. Realistically, by week 2, week 3, like if you're getting really good, consistent open rates, you can kind of start firing again. But again, the goal here is to let inbox providers see consistent positive engagement before you go big. Okay. Now, the don'ts really quickly are: don't send to your whole list in one day. Don't send to unengaged people, or use massive heavy images or like loads of links and stuff like that. Okay. How to fix your deliverability when it's already broken. Okay. If your deliverability has tanked, all of a sudden your open rates are below 30%, emails are going to spam, immediately stop sending to everyone. And again, it's pretty much the same thing. Only send to your warmest list for 2 or 3 weeks. Send plain text emails, focus on engagement. Like I said, you may do a giveaway, whatever, reply to this email. People will start replying, and that will really, really help. And you want to gradually expand again. Now, maintaining good deliverability going forward once you've recovered your health is really important. Now, whenever you're sending emails in the future, you always want to add in some engaged lists in there. It could be 180-day engaged, it could be 90, just to make sure you are kind of getting a banker of people who will definitely open, just so you can be pretty confident that you'll get a good open rate each time. Also, excluding unengaged people is another important one that I've found over time a lot of brand owners don't do. In Klaviyo, you can group together the people who haven't opened or clicked or been active on your site in a year, 2 years, and you can actually flag them. You can either suppress them or you can just take them out of every single email. You want to clean your list regularly. You want to set up a sunset flow for people who haven't engaged in 90 to 180 days. Basically, what that is when someone reaches that point which you've chosen, let's say it's 180 days and they haven't engaged in anything, Klaviyo will flag them and automatically enter them into a sunset flow. The goal of a sunset flow is to basically throw the kitchen sink at this customer. Do anything at all that you can to re-engage them, to get them to open, to get them to click, to get them to purchase. And if by the end of this sunset flow they still haven't taken any of the bait, it'll just suppress them, which it should. Okay. Don't over email your audience. You need to find the right cadence, monitor your unsubscribe rates, so on and so forth. We, on average, would do around 3 sends per week with campaigns for brands. Some 4, some 5. But again, it is dependent on your brand. Yeah, you need to make it easy to unsubscribe. Put it at the footer. Obviously, don't be asking people to unsubscribe, but don't make it impossible either. And yeah, number 5 is a key one. Just monitor everything. Check your open rates weekly, your spam complaints, bounce rates, and you should be good. So yeah, unengaged, the engaged versus unengaged split. Okay, this is critical. Most of your email revenue comes from your engaged subscribers. Okay, so engaged could be 30 days, 40% of your list, but it'll do 80% of your revenue. 60% of your list could be unengaged and they'll do 20% of your revenue. So by only sending to engaged, you protect deliverability, you maintain high open rates, and you actually make more money. But it's still important to not send to your unengaged because there is still revenue in that list. You know, if you've got a good marketing team, a good email marketing team, or you're quite good at it yourself, you need to be confident enough in the fact that you can send to these people and get that purchase. Okay. And yeah, at the end of all of this, you need to cut the dead weight. Okay. Once you figure out who's not worth paying for, who's completely dead inside your account, you get rid of them. You focus on your 7, 14, 30, 60, 90, 180 day engaged. And then you can obviously micro segment from there if you want to get a bit more advanced with it. But this is like the key basics to just email marketing. And down the bottom I have here, deliverability is boring, but it is the difference between your emails working and being invisible. Sending to engage people only, warm your list properly. If things break, rebuild slowly. Okay, you have to get this right. Everything else will become so much easier.